My wife told our 5-year-old daughter to write letters to heaven because mommy was dying. Every word was a lie, and I had the proof. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me take you back to where this started. Not to the diagnosis. There was no diagnosis. Not to the first treatment. There was no treatment. To a Tuesday night in December when my daughter Sophie sealed envelope number 47 with a unicorn sticker and asked me if heaven had a mailbox. Daddy, does heaven have a mailbox? I'm kneeling beside her bed and she's holding this envelope, white standard letter size, addressed in wobbly crayon to heaven's sky above clouds. There's a stamp in the corner, a real stamp. 20 cents I'll never get back for a letter that will never be mailed because I can't bring myself to tell her the truth. That heaven doesn't work like that. I think heaven has something better than a mailbox, sweetheart. She nods, satisfied, and places the envelope in the shoebox. The white Nike shoebox with the unicorn stickers and the butterfly drawings. Size 12 kids. I bought those shoes for her first day of kindergarten. Now the box holds 47 letters I've been counting, all addressed to her mother, her dying mother. Except Jennifer isn't dying. But I don't know that yet. Not on this Tuesday night in December. On this night, I still believe the lie. Can we take this one tomorrow, when we visit Mommy? We'll see, baby. Mommy might be too tired for visitors tomorrow. Sophie's face falls just a little, and I feel it like a knife. She's 5 years old. 5. And for the past 18 months, she's been watching her mother fight what we've been told is stage 3 breast cancer. Except she hasn't been watching her mother fight anything. She's been watching a performance, a fraud, a calculated, methodical, 18-month-long con designed to steal everything I own. But again, I don't know that yet. I tuck Sophie in, kiss her forehead, and she grabs my hand before I can stand. Daddy? Yeah, baby? Is Mommy gonna be okay? And here it is. The question she asks every single night. The question that makes my throat close up. The question I've been answering the same way for 18 months. Because it's what Jennifer told me to say. It's what we agreed on. Keep Sophie hopeful. Keep Sophie calm. One day at a time. Mommy's going to be okay, sweetheart. One day at a time. She smiles, this small, trusting smile, and closes her eyes. I leave her room and walk downstairs to the kitchen where the medical bills are stacked on the counter. Bills I've been paying, bills from treatments that never happened. From a hospital Jennifer claimed to attend. From an oncologist named Dr. Nathan Clark, who promised me to my face, that he would do everything possible to save my wife's life. He kept that promise. He did everything possible to steal $340,000. I don't know that yet either. What I know on this Tuesday night in December is that Jennifer filed for divorce 3 days ago, served me papers while I was at work. Her lawyer called it amicable. Amicable. After 18 months of me driving her to appointments that didn't exist. After I quit my evening coding projects to be home with Sophie. After I took out a second mortgage on the house, this house my parents left me, to pay for experimental treatments that were never administered. Amicable. The kindergarten teacher's email sits in my inbox, still unread. Subject line, concerning behavior, Sophie needs evaluation. I've been avoiding it for 3 days. I tell myself I'll open it tomorrow. I tell myself Sophie is fine. Kids are resilient. She's processing her mother's illness in her own way, except her mother isn't ill. I open my laptop. It's 11:47 p.m. The house is quiet except for the hum of the refrigerator and the soft sound of Sophie's white noise machine upstairs. I'm documenting our finances for my attorney, Jeremy Walsh, a guy I went to college with who now specializes in family law. He told me to gather everything: bank statements, credit card bills, medical expenses, mortgage documents, everything. Jennifer's going to push for half the house. Jeremy warned me over coffee yesterday. Maybe more. She'll argue she sacrificed her career to focus on her health. She'll say you were emotionally absent during her illness. I wasn't absent. I was there for everything. I know, but her lawyer is Rachel Chen. She's aggressive, she's smart, and she's going to paint you as the husband who couldn't handle a sick wife. Emotionally absent. The phrase sits in my stomach like rot. I'm clicking through our shared email account, the one we set up for insurance communications, when I see it. Subject line, final claim. Submission, then we're clear. Sender, Dr. Nathan Clark, MD. Recipient, Jennifer Henderson. Date, sent, November 18th, 2024, 2 weeks before she filed for divorce. My hand freezes on the trackpad. I shouldn't read this. This is Jennifer's private correspondence with her doctor. HIPAA, privacy, boundaries. But something stops me from closing the tab. Maybe it's the subject line, then we're clear, which doesn't sound medical. Maybe it's the date, 2 weeks before divorce papers. Maybe it's the way Jeremy looked at me over coffee when he said, just gather everything, Thomas, even things that feel wrong to gather. I open the email. At first, I don't understand what I'm reading. It's not written like a doctor communicating with a patient. It's written like two people coordinating a plan. Final claim processes Friday. Transfer clears Monday. J.H. Barrett trust account ready to receive. Timeline on schedule. Bankruptcy filing March. Your attorney drafting now. Divorce finalized May. Your terms, not his. Insurance claim payout June. $87K final. Total recovered $340K, split per original agreement. Then we're clear and can move forward with phase 2. I read it again. Then I read it a third time. J.H. Barrett Trust. Jennifer Henderson. Barrett is Nathan Clark's middle name. I remember seeing it on his office door once. Dr. Nathan Barrett Clark, MD, Oncology. Timeline on schedule. Your terms, not his. Split per original agreement. I'm not breathing. I realize I'm not breathing because my chest hurts and the edges of my vision are going dark. I force myself to inhale. The air feels thick. I scroll down. There's a reply from Jennifer, sent the next day. Perfect. I'll sign the bankruptcy papers this week. Make sure the insurance codes match what we submitted in August. They're getting suspicious about the experimental treatment claims. Also, we need to talk about T. He's starting to ask questions about the bills. Not pushing hard yet, but he's not stupid. How much longer do we need to keep this up? T. That's me. Thomas? She's calling me T in an email about fraud. Experimental treatment claims. They're getting suspicious. How much longer do we need to keep this up? I stand from the kitchen table. My chair scrapes against the floor, loud in the silent house. And I walk to the sink because I think I might throw up. I don't. I just stand there, gripping the edge of the counter, staring at the faucet. 18 months of driving her to appointments, of sitting in waiting rooms that now, in retrospect, I realize she never actually entered with me. You don't need to come in, Thomas. It's just routine blood work. Wait here. 18 months of watching her come home tired, actually tired, not faking, and assuming it was from chemotherapy when it was probably from fucking her oncologist at his vacation house. I'm making assumptions. I don't have proof of an affair yet, but I have proof of something. I go back to the laptop and start searching the email account. I type J.H. Barrett Trust into the search bar. 17 results. I click the first one. It's a confirmation from Cayman Islands International Bank. Account opened April 23rd, 2023. Account holders, Jennifer Marie Henderson and Nathan Barrett Clark. Initial deposit, $5,000. April 23rd, 2023. Jennifer's diagnosis was May 15th, 2023, 3 weeks later. They opened a joint offshore account 3 weeks before her cancer diagnosis. I'm not crying. I should be crying. I should be feeling something, but instead I just feel cold, numb, clinical. Like I'm debugging someone else's code. Like this is a logic problem, not the destruction of my family. I download everything, every email between Jennifer and Nathan Clark, every bank statement I can find. I create a folder on my desktop labeled Taxes 2024 because if Jennifer checks my computer, And she's thorough, she won't look twice at a tax folder. Inside Taxes 2024, I dropped 63 files. By the time I'm finished, it's 1:30 a.m. Sophie's white noise machine is still humming upstairs. The house smells like the chicken I made for dinner. Dinner Jennifer didn't come home for because she was meeting with her oncologist to discuss next steps. Next steps in her fraud timeline. I close my laptop. I should sleep. I have work tomorrow. Software engineer at a mid-sized tech firm, $85,000 a year, which used to feel like plenty until I took out a second mortgage for treatments that never happened. I should sleep, but I won't. I'll lie in bed in the guest room because Jennifer moved to the master bedroom 6 months ago to have space to rest. And I'll replay every moment of the past 18 months, looking for the clues I missed. But first, I do something I haven't done in a year. I go into our bedroom, Jennifer's room, while she's not home. I don't know where she is. Late treatment? She texted at 8 p.m. Don't wait up. I won't. The room smells like her perfume. Chanel number 5. The bottle I bought her for our 7th anniversary, back when I thought we were happy, back when I thought she was faithful, back when I thought she was dying. I open her nightstand drawer. Inside, birth control pills, not cancer medication, birth control, prescribed by her regular gynecologist, Dr. Sarah Patel, current. The date on the bottle is from last week. Why would someone on chemotherapy need birth control? I close the drawer. I leave the room. I walk back downstairs and I do the only thing that makes sense. I call the number on Dr. Nathan Clark's office card, the one he gave me during our first consultation when he looked me in the eye and said, "I'm going to take excellent care of your wife, Mr. Henderson." It goes to voicemail. Office hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. For emergencies, call the hospital. I hang up, and then I call the hospital. Mercy General Medical Center, the hospital where Jennifer claimed to receive all her treatments, where she said Dr. Clark had admitting privileges, where I dropped her off at the front entrance dozens of times over 18 months. Mercy General, how may I direct your call? The operator sounds tired. It's almost 2 a.m. I should have waited until morning, but I can't wait until morning because if I wait, I'll talk myself out of this. I'll convince myself I'm overreacting, that there's a reasonable explanation, that I'm violating Jennifer's privacy and trust over a misunderstanding. I need to verify a patient record, please. Are you the patient? No, I'm the husband. My wife has been receiving treatment there. I need to confirm her appointment schedule. There's a pause. Sir, we can't give out patient information without... I have medical power of attorney. I'm lying. I don't have medical power of attorney. Jennifer never gave me medical power of attorney, which now in hindsight seems significant. Another pause. One moment. I'm transferred. Hold music, something instrumental, peaceful, designed to calm anxious family members calling about their sick loved ones. Patient records, this is Linda. Hi Linda, I'm calling about my wife, Jennifer Henderson. She's been receiving oncology treatment at your facility. I need to verify her next appointment. Let me look that up for you. Can you spell the last name? Henderson. I hear typing, more typing, too much typing. And her first name? Jennifer, Jennifer. More typing. Then silence, then Linda's voice, confused. Sir, I'm not showing any Jennifer Henderson in our system. Can you verify her date of birth? I give her the date. March 3rd, 1989. The same birthday I've celebrated with Jennifer for 9 years. I'm sorry, sir, I'm showing no records for that name and birth date. Is it possible she was treated at a different facility? My hand is shaking. I set the phone on speaker and place it on the counter because I can't hold it anymore. She's been coming there for 18 months. Dr. Nathan Clark, Oncology. We do have a Dr. Clark in oncology, but I'm not showing any Jennifer Henderson under his care. Let me check our oncology database specifically. I wait. The kitchen is spinning slightly, or maybe I'm spinning. I put my hand on the counter to steady myself. Sir, I've checked our main records and our oncology department database. We have no Jennifer Henderson registered as a patient. Not currently, and not in the past 5 years. Are you certain she was treated here? I dropped her off myself, dozens of times. I understand, but our records show... Check again. Sir, I've checked 3 times. There's no... Then check your billing department. We've been paying bills from Mercy General for over a year. Another pause. I can hear Linda conferring with someone else. Muffled voices. Then she's back. Sir, I'm going to transfer you to our billing department. They can help verify what charges you've received. But I want to be very clear. Mercy General has no record of Jennifer Henderson as a patient in our system. No appointments, no treatments, no Jennifer. The transfer clicks through, hold music again. But I'm not hearing it anymore. I'm hearing Sophie's voice from earlier tonight. Is Mommy going to be okay? And I'm realizing that I've been answering the wrong question. The question wasn't whether Jennifer would survive cancer. The question was how far someone would go to steal everything, even your grief. If you've ever held your child while they cried for someone who hurt them, leave a single word below, protected. Some battles we fight alone. Others we need to know we're not alone. The billing department picks up. It's 2:17 a.m. now. I'm about to ruin this woman's night, but mine was ruined 18 months ago. I just didn't know it yet. Mercy General Billing, this is Rebecca. I need to verify charges. My name is Thomas Henderson. My wife, Jennifer Henderson. I've been receiving bills from your hospital for oncology treatment. Let me pull up your account. One moment. Typing. Always typing. The sound of someone searching for records that may or may not exist. Okay, I'm seeing... Sir, I'm showing one account under your name. A payment plan you set up in June 2023. Right, for my wife's cancer treatment. Actually, the payment plan is for... It's for a Dr. Nathan Clark. Private billing, not through our hospital services. I don't understand. Dr. Clark has admitting privileges here, but he also runs a private practice. Sometimes physicians bill directly for consultations or experimental treatments that aren't covered by insurance. It looks like you set up a payment plan with his private practice, not with Mercy General. But I've been getting bills with your hospital's logo. Sir, I can only speak to what's in our system, and our system shows your wife was never admitted here. If you're receiving bills with our logo from Dr. Clark's private practice, you'll need to contact him directly. That's not something we can verify from our end. So you're saying Dr. Clark has been billing me, not the hospital? It appears that way, yes. For treatments my wife never received, at a hospital she never attended. Rebecca's voice changes, gets careful, professional. Sir, if you believe you've been billed fraudulently, I'd recommend contacting your insurance company and possibly filing a report with... I hang up. I sit down at the kitchen table. My laptop is still open. The email is still on the screen. Final claim submission, then we're clear. $340,000, 18 months, 56 fake insurance claims. I'll find out the exact number later when the forensic accountant goes through everything. My wife and her oncologist have been running a medical fraud scheme for a year and a half. And when I look at the dates, when I really look at the timeline, I realize something worse. They planned this before the diagnosis. The offshore account opened first. Then came the cancer announcement. Then came the treatments, the bills, the second mortgage, Sophie's letters to heaven, all of it orchestrated, all of it fake. And I had the proof. I don't sleep that night. By 6 a.m. Wednesday morning, I'm sitting in Jeremy Walsh's office with a USB drive containing 63 files and a yellow legal pad covered in my handwriting. Notes, timelines, questions that need answers. Jeremy takes one look at me and says, "You look like hell." "I found something." I slide the legal pad across his desk. He reads for 90 seconds without speaking. Then he looks up. "Thomas, if this is real, this is insurance fraud, wire fraud, possibly RICO. This isn't divorce court anymore. This is federal. I need 2 people, a forensic accountant and a private investigator." Jeremy nods slowly. "I know people, good people, but Thomas, listen to me. If you're wrong about this, if there's any chance you're misinterpreting, I'm not wrong. Then we need to move fast and we need to move quietly. Jennifer can't know you're investigating. If she gets spooked, if she destroys evidence, I understand." He picks up his phone, makes 2 calls. By 9 a.m., I'm sitting in a conference room with Patricia Walsh, forensic accountant, former IRS investigator, gray hair and steel eyes, and David Reed, private investigator, former police detective, the kind of guy who looks like he's seen everything twice. Patricia spreads out bank statements on the table like she's laying cards. J.H. Barrett Trust, Cayman Islands, account opened April 2023. Initial deposit $5,000. After that, she runs her finger down a printout, regular deposits every 2 weeks. Amounts vary, $2,000, $5,000, $15,000, different sources, but all of them trace back to insurance claims. How much total? So far, $340,000, give or take. I feel it like a punch. Hearing the number in my kitchen at 2 a.m. was one thing. Hearing it in a conference room with fluorescent lights and coffee going cold in paper cups, that's different. That's real. Where did it go? Patricia flips to another page. 2 properties, 1 lake house in Clearwater County, purchased June 2023 for $160,000, cash. And 1 condo downtown, purchased March 2024 for $115,000, also cash. Both properties titled to Jennifer Henderson and Nathan Barrett Clark. David leans forward. They bought real estate together. That's not just fraud. That's planning a life. There's more, Patricia says. She pulls out another document. The insurance claims. I've gone through 56 of them, each one billed at maximum rates. Experimental treatments, specialty medications. Most of them submitted to your insurance company, Mr. Henderson, but a few went to Medicare. Fraudulent Medicare claims are federal offenses. How did they get away with it for 18 months? Insurance companies don't verify every claim, Patricia explains, especially for cancer treatment. There's an assumption that oncologists are operating in good faith. Dr. Clark had the credentials, the license, the hospital privileges. He knew exactly what codes to use, what language to put in the documentation. And your insurance company, they've been paying out because on paper, everything looks legitimate. David taps his pen against the table. On paper, but not in reality. Right. I look at David. I need you to verify something. Jennifer's medical records, her real medical records, not the ones Dr. Clark created. That'll require a subpoena or a very sympathetic records clerk. Can you do it? I can try. Patricia closes her folder. Mr. Henderson, I need to be clear about what you're asking me to do. If I find what I think I'm going to find, I'm legally obligated to report it. This isn't just a divorce case. This is criminal fraud on a massive scale. I understand. Do you? Because once I file my report, there's no going back. The FBI will get involved. Asset seizure, criminal charges. Your wife will go to prison. She deserves to go to prison. Patricia studies me for a moment, then she nods. All right, give me 3 days. David stands. I'll start on the medical records. And Mr. Henderson, one more thing. Do you have any photos? Anything Jennifer sent you from her treatments? I pull out my phone. She documented everything. Said it was for her cancer journal, something to look back on when she beat this. I scroll through my photos. Jennifer in a hospital gown. Jennifer with an IV bag. Jennifer in what looks like a treatment room, smiling weakly at the camera. I've looked at these photos 100 times, used them as proof that she was really sick, really fighting. Now I'm handing them to a private investigator who's going to tear them apart. Can you airdrop these to me? I send him 17 photos. David glances at them on his phone, then looks up. These are good, really good. She's thorough, I'll give her that. But photos have metadata, GPS coordinates, timestamps. If these weren't taken where she said they were taken, they weren't. Then we'll prove it. 3 days later, I'm in my home office, the guest bedroom I've been sleeping in since Jennifer moved to the master, when David calls. Thomas, you sitting down? Yeah. Every photo, every single one. Not taken at Mercy General, not taken at any hospital. My hand tightens on the phone. Where? 4782 Clearwater Lane. GPS coordinates match exactly. That's the lake house property, the one she and Clark bought in June 2023. I pull up Google Maps on my laptop, type in the address. Satellite view loads. A house on the water, dock, trees, private. Looks peaceful. Looks like the perfect place for someone to fake cancer treatments for 18 months. The timestamps match her chemo days. David continues. July the 14th, 2023, you told me that was a treatment day. Photo metadata, July 14th, 2023, 2:47 p.m., 4782 Clearwater Lane, August 3rd, September 12th, October 8th, all the same location, all at the lake house. So she was never at the hospital? Not once. Every photo she sent you, every piece of evidence she documented, it was all staged at Clark's vacation property. The IV bags, saline. You can buy those online. The hospital gown, Amazon. The treatment room, probably just a bedroom with medical equipment as props. I'm staring at the satellite image, zooming in. There's a boat at the dock. I wonder if they took that boat out on her chemo days. If they celebrated champagne maybe after successfully billing my insurance for another fake treatment. Thomas, you still there? Yeah, sorry, I'm here. There's more. Patricia finished her analysis. She wants to meet, both of us, today if possible. I'll be there. Patricia's office smells like coffee and printer toner. She has 3 monitors on her desk, all displaying spreadsheets. She doesn't waste time with pleasantries. 56 fraudulent claims. Total value, $340,000. I've documented every one. She hands me a binder, 2 inches thick. Dates, amounts, insurance codes, submission methods. Dr. Clark knew exactly what he was doing. He varied the amounts, never too high, never too low. He used legitimate billing codes for real treatments. He even submitted some claims to secondary insurance to make it look more authentic. I flip through the binder. Each page is a claim. Each claim is a lie. But here's what's interesting, Patricia continues. The offshore account, J.H. Barrett Trust. It wasn't just receiving deposits. There were withdrawals, regular withdrawals, and I tracked where they went. She pulls up a document on her center monitor. 2 properties, we already know about those. But there's a 3rd location, monthly payments, $5,000 a month since September 2023. What is it? Medical practice, Dr. Nathan Clark's private practice. He's been paying himself a salary from the fraud money. He's literally billing you for fake treatments, depositing the insurance payouts into a joint account, then withdrawing money to pay himself for the fake treatments he never provided. David laughs, not because it's funny, but because it's so audacious. He's paying himself twice, once from insurance fraud, once from the offshore account. Exactly. I close the binder. What about the timeline? The bankruptcy Jennifer mentioned in the email? Patricia nods. I looked into that. She filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy paperwork last week, claims she has overwhelming medical debt from her cancer treatment. She's trying to discharge over $200,000 in medical bills. Bills that, according to my analysis, either don't exist or were paid by insurance fraud proceeds. So she's committing bankruptcy fraud on top of insurance fraud? Yes. And in her divorce filing, she's claiming you're responsible for half of her medical debt. She's asking the court to force you to pay $100,000, money that doesn't actually exist, while she's hiding $340,000 in an offshore account. I stand up, walk to the window. Patricia's office overlooks a parking lot. Gray cars, gray sky, everything gray. I think about Sophie, about the letters, about how many nights I've held her while she cried for her mother. How many times I've said, "Mommy's going to be okay." "I need to get Sophie out of this," I say quietly. David and Patricia exchange a look. "Thomas," David says carefully, "there's something you need to understand. When this breaks, when the FBI gets involved, when arrests happen, Jennifer's going to fight back. She's going to claim you're the one who's unstable, that you're obsessed, that you can't accept her recovery. She already filed for divorce. She's already trying to take everything." "Right. But when criminal charges come, when she's facing federal prison, she'll escalate. She'll go after custody. She'll paint you as the villain." "Let her try." Patricia closes her laptop. "Mr. Henderson, I'm filing my report with the FBI tomorrow. Once I do, this is out of your hands. The investigation becomes federal. Asset seizure, criminal indictments, the whole process. You need to be prepared." "I am prepared. Are you prepared to lose custody of your daughter?" The question hits me like ice water. I turn from the window. "What?" "Jennifer's going to claim you're dangerous," Patricia says. "She's going to file for emergency custody. She's going to say you're harassing her, threatening her, that you've become unstable since her recovery. She'll get a restraining order, and until the FBI completes their investigation, which could take months, a judge might side with her. But I have the evidence. Evidence of fraud. Not evidence that you're a fit parent or that she's not. Family court doesn't care about insurance fraud. Family court cares about what's best for the child. And Jennifer's lawyer is going to argue that a child shouldn't be with a father who's waging a criminal investigation against her mother." I sit down, hard. The chair creaks. "So what do I do?" David leans forward. "You document everything. You keep gathering evidence. You prove not just that she committed fraud, but that she's been using Sophie, manipulating her, traumatizing her as part of the con. That makes it a child welfare issue. That gets family court to pay attention. How do I prove that?" "Has Sophie been seeing a therapist?" "No. Jennifer said she didn't need one. Said it would be too traumatic to talk to a stranger about her mother's illness." "Of course she did, because a therapist would have documented Sophie's trauma, would have noticed warning signs, would have filed reports." David pulls out a business card. "This is Dr. Ellen Martinez, child psychologist, specializes in trauma. Get Sophie in to see her. Today, if possible." I take the card. "Jennifer will never agree to this." "You don't need Jennifer's agreement. You're still the father. You still have joint custody. Schedule an appointment. Take Sophie. Tell Jennifer afterward. That'll start a war." "The war already started," Patricia says. "You just didn't know it yet." That afternoon, I pick Sophie up from kindergarten. She runs to the car with her backpack bouncing, pigtails flying, 5 years old, and she has no idea her entire world is a lie. "Daddy, we learned about penguins today." "That's great, baby. Buckle up." She clicks her seatbelt. She's so proud she can do it herself now, and launches into a story about emperor penguins and how the daddies keep the eggs warm while the mommies hunt for food. I'm only half listening because I'm running through what I'm going to say. How do you tell your 5-year-old daughter that she's going to meet with a therapist? How do you explain that without explaining why? "Sophie, we're going to make a quick stop before we go home." "Where?" "To meet a very nice lady. Her name is Dr. Martinez. She talks to kids about their feelings. Sophie's face changes, gets wary. Am I in trouble? No, baby, no. You're not in trouble. Dr. Martinez just wants to make sure you're doing okay with everything that's been happening with Mommy. But Mommy's getting better. You said she's getting better. And there it is. The lie I've been telling. The lie Jennifer told me to tell. The lie that's been protecting Sophie from the truth while simultaneously trapping her in a trauma she doesn't understand. Mommy is doing better, but sometimes when people we love are sick, it makes us worried or scared. And Dr. Martinez helps kids talk about those feelings. Sophie is quiet for a moment, then, do I have to? I think it would be really good for you, just to try. If you don't like it, we don't have to go back. She nods, but she's picking at her seatbelt strap, a nervous habit she's developed over the past year. Jennifer always told her to stop. You'll ruin the straps, Sophie. But I let her do it. Let her have this one small way of managing anxiety that her mother created. Dr. Martinez's office is in a building that tries too hard to look cheerful. Bright colors, children's artwork on the walls, a waiting room with toys that have seen better days. Sophie immediately gravitates to a dollhouse in the corner. I check us in. Mr. Henderson, Dr. Martinez will see Sophie now. The doctor is younger than I expected. Early 30s, warm smile, the kind of calm energy that probably makes kids trust her. She kneels down to Sophie's level. Hi, Sophie. I'm Dr. Ellen. Want to come play some games with me? Sophie looks at me. I nod. She takes Dr. Martinez's hand and they disappear into an office. The door closes. I sit in the waiting room for 45 minutes. I don't read the magazines. I don't check my phone. I just sit there staring at the dollhouse Sophie was playing with, and I think about the shoebox under her bed. The 47 letters, the unicorn stickers, the careful handwriting that's gotten better over 18 months because she's had so much practice writing to heaven. When the door opens, Dr. Martinez is alone. Sophie's playing with some art supplies. Can I speak with you for a moment, Mr. Henderson? We step into the hallway. She doesn't waste time. Your daughter is experiencing significant trauma, anticipatory grief, anxiety, some signs of depression. She's also displaying concerning ideation. What kind of ideation? She told me she's been writing letters to heaven, that she's planning to visit her mother there soon. When I asked what she meant, she said, when Mommy goes to heaven, I want to go too, so she's not lonely. My vision blurs. I put my hand on the wall. Mr. Henderson, Sophie is exhibiting warning signs of suicidal ideation. In a 5-year-old, that's extraordinary. It suggests she's been exposed to concepts of death, dying, and loss at a level that far exceeds what's developmentally appropriate. Her mother has cancer, had cancer, has... I stop. I don't know anymore. Dr. Martinez studies me. What do you mean? I need to know, if I tell you something, are you a mandatory reporter? If I suspect child abuse or neglect, yes. Otherwise, this conversation is confidential. I take a breath. Sophie's mother doesn't have cancer, never did. It was fraud, insurance fraud. And Sophie's been traumatized for 18 months over a disease that doesn't exist. Dr. Martinez is very still. Then, that changes everything. Mr. Henderson, if Sophie has been deliberately traumatized as part of a fraud scheme, that's psychological abuse. I'm obligated to report this. Good, report it, because I need documentation. I need proof that Jennifer did this to our daughter. I need family court to see what she's done. I'll need to see Sophie again, multiple sessions. I'll need to document her trauma thoroughly. And Mr. Henderson, you need to tell her the truth. She's 5. She's 5 and she thinks her mother is dying. She's 5 and she's planning her own death so her mother won't be alone in heaven. The truth, age-appropriate truth, is less harmful than the lie she's living in. I nod. I can't speak. If I speak, I'll break. Dr. Martinez puts her hand on my shoulder. Bring her back Friday. And Mr. Henderson, Whatever happens next, Sophie needs stability. She needs to know you're not going anywhere. Can you promise her that? Yes. Then start there. That night, after Sophie is asleep, after I've read her 3 books and sung her 2 songs and held her while she cried because Mommy didn't call today, I go into her room, not to wake her, just to check on her, to make sure she's breathing. It's something I've done every night for 5 years, but tonight it feels different. Tonight, I'm not just checking on my daughter, I'm documenting, I'm gathering evidence, I'm preparing for war. I see the shoebox on her closet shelf, white Nike box, size 12 kids, covered in stickers. I should leave it alone. It's hers, private. But Dr. Martinez's words are still in my head. Sophie's been writing letters to heaven. She wants to visit her mother there soon. I take the box down. Inside are the letters. Not 47, I counted wrong. 53. 6 more since I last looked, all sealed, all stamped, all addressed in Sophie's increasingly neat handwriting. Heaven, sky, above clouds. I open the first one. The paper is construction paper, pink, dated 18 months ago in my handwriting because Sophie couldn't write the date yet. Dear Heaven, please take care of Mommy. Love, Sophie. The handwriting is huge, uneven. The H in heaven is backward. There's a heart where the dot over the I should be. She was 4 years old. I open another one. This one from 6 months ago. Dear Heaven, please don't let Mommy hurt. I'll be good forever if you make her better. Love, Sophie, age 5. Another one, 3 months ago. Dear Heaven, Mommy is very tired. Daddy says one day at a time. Is that how heaven works too? One day at a time. Love, Sophie. My hands are shaking. I put the letters back in the box, all except one, the last one. Letter 53. Written 2 days ago, based on the date. I open it. The handwriting is careful, neat. Sophie's been practicing. The spelling is almost perfect. Dear Heaven, please tell Mommy I miss her. Daddy says she's getting better, but she looks sad. I think she misses you. Maybe I can come visit soon, so she's not lonely. I love you. Love, Sophie Henderson, age 5 and 3 months. I can come visit soon. 4 years old when this started. 4 years old when Jennifer told her Mommy was sick. 4 years old when she started writing letters to a place she thought her mother was going. And now, 18 months later, at 5 years old, she's planning her own death. I fold the letter carefully, put it in my pocket. This one's evidence. This one's proof of what Jennifer did. Not financial fraud. Dr. Martinez and the FBI and forensic accountants can prove that. This is proof of something worse. Proof that Jennifer used our daughter's innocence, her love, her fear as a weapon, as a tool, as part of the con. I take out my phone, take pictures of every letter, document the shoebox, the stickers, the dates. Then I put everything back exactly as I found it, and I leave Sophie's room, and I go downstairs and I do something I should have done weeks ago. I call Jennifer. She answers on the 3rd ring. Background noise, restaurant, maybe bar, and her voice is light, happy. She's having a good time while our daughter writes letters to heaven. Thomas, what's wrong? I took Sophie to see a therapist today. Silence. The background noise continues, but Jennifer's gone quiet. You what? Dr. Ellen Martinez, child psychologist. She specializes in trauma. You had no right. I have every right. I'm her father. And our daughter is experiencing suicidal ideation. Did you know that? Did you know she's planning to die so you won't be alone in heaven? More silence. Then, you're being dramatic. I'm being dramatic. Jennifer, she's written 53 letters. 53. She thinks you're dying. She thinks she needs to die too. And where are you right now? Out to dinner? Out with friends? Out with Nathan? I shouldn't have said his name, but I'm past caring. I don't know what you're implying. I'm not implying anything. I'm stating facts. And here's another fact. I know about the offshore account, J.H. Barrett Trust. I know about the lake house. I know about the insurance fraud. I know about all of it, Jennifer, every single piece. The silence now is different, heavy, dangerous. When she speaks again, her voice has changed, cold, calculated. Thomas, you need to be very careful about what you're accusing me of. I'm not accusing, I have proof. Proof of what? That I've been fighting for my life for 18 months? That I've been trying to survive while you've been emotionally absent? That I've had to make difficult financial decisions because my husband couldn't handle my illness? You don't have an illness. I have medical records that say otherwise. You have fake medical records created by your boyfriend, the oncologist you're committing fraud with. You sound unhinged, Thomas. Paranoid. Maybe you're the one who needs therapy. And there it is. The script David warned me about. The narrative Jennifer's going to use. I've hired a forensic accountant, a private investigator. They've documented everything. $340,000, Jennifer. 56 fraudulent claims. 2 properties bought with stolen money. An offshore account opened before your diagnosis. All of it traceable. All of it evidence. If you keep harassing me, I'll file a restraining order. File it. I don't care. Because when the FBI shows up, and they will show up, you're going to have much bigger problems than a restraining order. I hang up. My hands are still shaking, but it's not fear anymore. It's adrenaline. It's rage. It's the feeling of finally saying the truth out loud instead of swallowing it, accommodating it, making space for Jennifer's lies. The phone rings immediately. Jennifer calling back. I decline the call. It rings again. Decline. A text message. You're making a huge mistake. Then another. If you don't back off, you'll regret this. Then another. I'm calling my lawyer. You're done. I screenshot all of them. Evidence. 2 days later, I'm served with a restraining order. Jennifer claims I've been harassing her, threatening her, that I've become unstable and fixated on conspiracy theories about her illness. The order requires me to stay 100 yards away from her. It doesn't mention Sophie, but Jennifer's lawyer has filed an emergency motion for temporary custody. The hearing is scheduled for Monday, 3 days away. David calls me Saturday morning. Thomas, I got the medical records. And? Your wife is perfectly healthy, no cancer, no treatment. Her regular doctor, Dr. Sarah Patel, has been seeing her for annual physicals. Most recent one was March 2024. The report says, and I quote, patient presence in excellent health, no abnormalities detected, mammogram, clear, blood work, all normal ranges. Patient reports no concerns. Next visit, 1 year. Send me the report. Already did. Check your email. Thomas, this is the smoking gun. This proves everything. I open my email, download the PDF. It's 2 pages, standard medical format, and there on page 2 in black and white, patient presence in excellent health. No cancer, no treatment, no fucking cancer. I forward the report to Jeremy Walsh with a subject line for Monday's hearing. Then I call David. I need one more thing. What? I need to talk to Nathan Clark, face to face. Thomas, that's a terrible idea. If he knows you're investigating... He already knows. Jennifer told him. I need him on record. I need him to confess. You want to wear a wire? Yes. David is quiet for a long moment. I'll call the FBI. If they agree to work with us, if they agree to wire you for a controlled meeting, and that's a big if, are you prepared for what happens next? I'm prepared. You understand Clark might lawyer up, might refuse to meet, might be recording you too. I understand. All right, let me make some calls. Monday morning, Federal Building downtown. I'm in a conference room with 2 FBI agents, Agent Sarah Chen and Agent Mark Torres, and they're fitting a wire under my shirt. It's smaller than I expected, just a thin device taped to my chest, microphone barely visible. You're not law enforcement, Agent Chen reminds me. You can't make promises. You can't offer deals. All you can do is talk. Ask questions, let him respond. We'll handle the rest. What if he doesn't show? Then we move forward with the investigation without his cooperation. But if he does show, if he talks, it speeds everything up considerably. Agent Torres hands me a phone. This is a burner. Text him from this. Set up the meeting. Somewhere public but quiet. Coffee shop is good. Make it seem like you want to settle this privately, like you're willing to negotiate. I text Nathan Clark from the burner number. This is Thomas Henderson. We need to talk. Alone. Before this gets worse for both of us. The response comes in less than a minute. What do you want? Me. To understand why, 30 minutes, just us. Then I'll decide what happens next. Long pause. Then, Sterling coffee, noon, come alone. Agent Chen nods. That works, we'll be in the parking lot. If anything goes wrong, we're 30 seconds away. Sterling Coffee is the kind of place Jennifer and I used to come to on Saturday mornings. Back when things were good. Back when I thought we were happy. The irony isn't lost on me as I walk in at 11:57 a.m. Nathan Clark is already there. Corner table. He looks terrible. Unshaven, tie loose, circles under his eyes. He stands when he sees me, doesn't offer his hand. Thomas, Nathan, we sit. A waitress comes over. I order coffee I won't drink. Nathan orders nothing. You wanted to talk, he says. I want to know why. Why what? Why you ruined my family? Why you used my daughter? Why you stole from me for 18 months and made me watch my wife die from a disease she never had? His jaw tightens. I didn't make you do anything. You wrote the prescriptions. You filed the insurance claims. You created the medical records. You had hospital privileges that made it all look legitimate. Jennifer asked me to help her. I helped her. Help her commit fraud. Clark looks at his hands. His fingers are shaking. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Then what was it supposed to be like? He's quiet for a long moment. The coffee shop noise, espresso machine hissing, people talking, fills the silence. Then he speaks, and his voice is barely audible. It started as paperwork fraud. Just paperwork. Jennifer said she needed money for a legal case, that her ex, that you were hiding assets. She said she needed to level the playing field. I thought we were billing for consultations, real consultations. I didn't know. He stops, starts again. I should have known. You opened a joint offshore account with her. She said it was for asset protection, that you were trying to take everything in the divorce, that she needed to hide money until the settlement was fair. We weren't divorced. We weren't even separated. I know that now. You knew it then. You knew exactly what you were doing. I leaned forward. Did you ever think about my daughter? About what this would do to her? Clark's face crumples. Sophie, God, Sophie, no, I didn't. I never thought about Sophie. She's been writing letters to heaven, 53 of them. She thinks her mother is dying. She thinks she needs to die too, so Jennifer won't be alone. He looks up at me, and there are tears in his eyes. Real tears. I didn't know that. Yes, you did. You knew Jennifer was faking cancer. You knew I believed it. You knew our daughter believed it. You knew, and you kept going. It got out of hand. When? When did it get out of hand, Nathan? When you filed the 50th fake claim? The 100th? When you bought the second property with my money? When she got pregnant. The coffee shop seems to stop. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe everything stops when you hear something you didn't expect. Something that changes the entire shape of the truth. What did you say? Clark wipes his face with his hand. Jennifer's pregnant. Not with your child, Thomas. With mine. She got pregnant in March. And when she told me, I knew I couldn't stop. She said if I didn't keep going, if I didn't finish the plan, she'd claim I raped her. That I abused my position as her doctor, that she'd ruin me. So you kept stealing. So I kept going, because I was scared, because I'm a coward, because I got in too deep and I didn't know how to get out. I'm recording this. The FBI is recording this. Every word Clark is saying is being captured, documented, saved as evidence. But I need him to say more. I need him to connect all the pieces. The insurance claims. You filed them yourself? Most of them. Jennifer helped with some. She knew the billing codes. She used to work in pharmaceuticals. She understood the system. And the medical records? The fake treatment documentation? I created those. It's not hard if you know what you're doing. Hospital letterhead, forged signatures, lab results that look legitimate but trace to nothing. Jennifer said it was temporary. That once the divorce was final, once she had her settlement, we'd stop. But you weren't going to stop. You were going to take the money and run. Clark nods slowly. Phase 2. That's what Jennifer called it. After the divorce, after the insurance payout cleared, we'd leave. New city, new identities. Start over. With my daughter's trauma as your cover story. He doesn't respond. Just sits there crying silently in a coffee shop at noon on a Monday. I lean back. Let the silence sit. The wire is capturing everything. The FBI has what they need, but I have one more question. Do you regret it? Clark looks at me. Would it matter if I said yes? No. Then I won't waste your time with apologies. I stand. You're right. Don't waste my time. The FBI will be in touch. His face goes white. What? I'm wearing a wire, Nathan. Have been the whole time. Every word you just said, recorded. Federal agents are in the parking lot right now, and in about 30 seconds, they're going to come through that door and arrest you for insurance fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy. Clark tries to stand, but his legs don't work. He sits back down hard. You set me up. No, you set yourself up 18 months ago. I just gave you a chance to tell the truth. I walk toward the door. Behind me, I hear Clark's chair scrape. Hear him try to run. But Agent Chen and Agent Torres are already coming in, badges out, and Clark freezes. Dr. Nathan Clark, you're under arrest. I don't stay to watch. I walk out of the coffee shop, past the agents, into the parking lot where David is waiting by his car. Did you get it? David asks. I got it. And he confessed to everything, including something I didn't know about. What? Jennifer's pregnant with his child. She's been using it as leverage to keep him in the fraud. David whistles low. That's going to complicate things. Or simplify them, depends on how you look at it. We drive back to the federal building in silence. When we arrive, Agent Chen is already there with a transcript of the recording. She hands it to me. Mr. Henderson, we have enough to make arrests. Dr. Clark, obviously. But we need a little more time before we move on Jennifer. Asset seizure, coordination with local police, ensuring we have everything documented. Give us 48 hours. She has temporary custody of Sophie. The hearing is this afternoon. Show the judge this transcript. Show them the medical records. Show them your daughter's letters. Make it a child welfare issue, not a fraud issue. Family court moves faster than federal court. Get your daughter back. Let us handle the rest. The custody hearing is at 3 p.m. Jennifer's lawyer, Rachel Chen, as aggressive as Jeremy warned, argues that I'm unstable, that I'm harassing her client, that I'm using baseless conspiracy theories to justify my behavior. Jeremy counters with evidence, the medical record showing Jennifer is healthy, the transcript of Clark's confession, Sophie's letters to heaven, Dr. Martinez's report documenting suicidal ideation in a 5-year-old child. The judge, Judge Sarah Mitchell, mid-50s, reading glasses on a chain, reads everything in silence. Then she looks at Jennifer. Ms. Henderson, do you have cancer? Jennifer hesitates, just for a second, but that second tells the judge everything. I'm in remission. That's not what I asked. Do you currently have cancer? I did. I was treated. Ms. Henderson, Judge Mitchell's voice is sharp. Your husband has presented medical records from your primary care physician stating you are in excellent health. He has presented a transcript of a conversation with Dr. Clark in which Dr. Clark admits to creating fake medical records. He has presented evidence from a forensic accountant showing significant insurance fraud. Now, I'm going to ask you one more time, and I suggest you answer honestly. Do you have cancer? Jennifer looks at her lawyer. Rachel Chen looks like she wants to disappear. No, Your Honor, but I can explain. You've traumatized your 5-year-old daughter. You've used her fear, her grief, her love for you as a tool to commit fraud against your husband and multiple insurance companies. You've caused her to develop suicidal ideation, and you did all of this deliberately over a period of 18 months while maintaining the facade of a terminal illness. Judge Mitchell closes the file. Emergency motion for custody is denied. Mr. Henderson is awarded temporary full custody effective immediately. Ms. Henderson, you are granted supervised visitation only pending the outcome of the criminal investigation into your activities. Jennifer stands. Your Honor, you can't. I can, and I have. This hearing is adjourned. I pick Sophie up from Jennifer's apartment that evening. A sheriff's deputy escorts me to ensure there's no confrontation. Jennifer opens the door but doesn't look at me, just calls for Sophie. Sophie, honey, Daddy's here. Sophie appears with her backpack. Her face is confused. Am I going to Daddy's? Yes, sweetheart, for a little while. But what about Mommy? Are you going to be okay? Jennifer kneels down, and for just a moment, just one moment, I see something real cross her face. Regret, maybe, or fear, or the realization of what she's lost. Mommy's going to be fine, baby. You go with Daddy. I'll see you soon. Sophie hugs her. Jennifer holds on too long. When they finally separate, Sophie looks back at me. Daddy, is Mommy really okay? And for the first time in 18 months, I can answer her honestly. We're going to talk about that, sweetheart. Come on, let's go home. The FBI moves faster than I expected. Thursday morning, 6:47 a.m., I'm making Sophie breakfast. Scrambled eggs, her favorite, when my phone rings. Agent Chen. Mr. Henderson, we're executing warrants in 30 minutes, 2 simultaneous raids. I wanted you to know before it hits the news. Where? Dr. Clark's office at Mercy General and Jennifer Henderson's current residence, her parents' house in Riverside. Asset seizure teams are standing by. This is happening. I look at Sophie. She's drawing at the kitchen table, humming something from a cartoon. She has no idea her mother is about to be arrested. What do I tell my daughter? That's up to you. But Mr. Henderson, when this breaks, it's going to be everywhere. Local news, probably national, medical fraud, fake cancer, child trauma. It's going to be a media circus. You might want to keep Sophie home from school for a few days. Understood. We'll call you after. Stay by your phone. She hangs up. Sophie looks up from her drawing. Who was that, Daddy? Work stuff, baby. Hey, how about we have a special day today? Just you and me. No school. Her face lights up. Really? Really? We can go to the park. Maybe get ice cream. But it's morning. Ice cream for breakfast. Why not? She giggles, and the sound is so pure, so innocent, that for a moment I forget everything else. Forget the fraud. Forget the arrests. Forget that in 30 minutes federal agents are going to tear apart what's left of her mother's life, but only for a moment. We're at the park, Sophie on the swings, me pushing her higher, higher, her laughter carrying across the playground, when my phone buzzes. Text from David Reed. It's done. Both arrests executed. Jennifer taken into custody at her parents' house. Clark arrested at the hospital. Media already covering it. Check Channel 7. I pull out my phone, open the news app. The headline is already there. Local oncologist arrested in massive insurance fraud scheme. Faked patient's cancer for 18 months. Below it, a photo. Nathan Clark in handcuffs being escorted out of Mercy General by FBI agents. His face is turned away from the cameras, but I recognize the tie. The same tie he wore when he first told me Jennifer's prognosis. When he looked me in the eye and said, "We're going to fight this together." I scroll down. Another photo. Jennifer's parents' house. Federal agents carrying boxes out the front door, and there, partially visible through a window, Jennifer, her face frozen in shock. Her mother standing on the porch, arms crossed, stone-faced. "Daddy, higher!" I put the phone away, push Sophie higher. She's flying now, hair streaming behind her, face turned toward the sky. And I think this is what she should have been doing for the past 18 months. Flying, playing, being 5. Instead of writing letters to heaven. Instead of planning her own death. My phone rings. Jeremy Walsh. "Thomas, turn on the news. Any channel." I saw. It's everywhere. And Thomas, Jennifer's parents, issued a statement. "You need to hear this." He reads it to me over the phone, and I can hear his smile. The Henderson family is shocked and devastated by the allegations against our daughter Jennifer. We had no knowledge of her actions and do not condone fraud or deception in any form. We believed, as Thomas Henderson believed, that Jennifer was battling cancer. We are cooperating fully with federal authorities. At this time, we ask for privacy as we process this betrayal, not just of her husband and child, but of our family and everyone who supported her during her fabricated illness. They disowned her, I say quietly, publicly, on record. That's going to matter in court. Family support is huge in sentencing. Jennifer just lost hers. What about Clark? His wife filed for divorce this morning, emergency custody of their 2 kids. She's taking them to her parents' house in California. Released a statement through her attorney saying she had no knowledge of the fraud and is horrified by her husband's abuse of his medical position. Clark's isolated, no family support, no character witnesses. He's done. Sophie is calling me. "Daddy, watch this!" She pumps her legs, swinging as high as the chains allow, and for a second, just a second, I imagine her falling. Imagine not being there to catch her. Imagine all the ways this could have ended worse. But I was there. I caught her, and now I'm going to make sure she stays safe. "Jeremy, when's the arraignment?" "Friday, tomorrow, both of them. Federal courthouse, 2 p.m., Judge Morrison presiding, prosecutions pushing for no bail, flight risk, offshore accounts, international connections." "I'm coming." "You don't have to." "Yes, I do." That night, after Sophie is asleep, I do something I haven't done in months. I go on Facebook. The local community groups are on fire. Riverside Parents Network, Mercy General Patient Support, Small Business Owners of Jefferson County. Every single one has posts about Jennifer and Nathan Clark. Hundreds of comments, thousands. I donated $500 to her GoFundMe. I have cancer, real cancer, and she stole from people like me. My daughter was in Sophie's kindergarten class. That poor baby. I can't imagine what she's been through. Dr. Clark treated my father for prostate cancer, real cancer, and now I'm wondering, was any of it real? Can we trust anything he did? $340,000. That's not a mistake. That's not a cry for help. That's calculated evil. Jennifer Henderson came to our church. We prayed for her. We held fundraisers. We collected money for her medical expenses. She lied to our faces. In God's house. I closed the laptop. The internet never forgets, never forgives. Years from now, when you Google Jennifer Henderson, this will be the first result, not her achievements, not her life before. Just this: fraud, betrayal, child abuse. Some people might call that cruel. I call it consequences. Friday, 2 p.m., Federal Courthouse. The building is imposing, all granite and glass. American flags at the entrance, security screening that takes 20 minutes. I'm here with Jeremy, sitting in the gallery, watching as they bring Jennifer and Nathan Clark in for arraignment. They're in separate holding areas, different entrances. The FBI wants to make it clear these are individual prosecutions, not just co-conspirators. Jennifer first. She walks in wearing an orange jumpsuit, no makeup, hair pulled back. She looks smaller than I remember, diminished. She scans the gallery, finds me, and for just a moment, our eyes meet. I don't look away, neither does she. Judge Morrison, mid-60s, gray hair, reputation for no-nonsense sentencing, reads the charges. Jennifer Marie Henderson, you are charged with 56 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of identity theft, 2 counts of bankruptcy fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit fraud. How do you plead? Her attorney, not Rachel Chen anymore, she withdrew yesterday. This is a criminal defense attorney named Marcus Webb, stands. Not guilty, Your Honor. Bail? The prosecutor, Assistant U.S. Attorney Rebecca Santos, stands. The government requests remand without bail, Your Honor. Ms. Henderson has significant financial resources hidden in offshore accounts. She has demonstrated willingness to deceive and manipulate. She is an extreme flight risk, Marcus Webb argues. Talks about Jennifer's ties to the community, her lack of criminal history, her cooperation. But Judge Morrison cuts him off. Ms. Henderson created a fake cancer diagnosis, traumatized her 5-year-old daughter, and stole over $300,000 while maintaining an elaborate fraud for 18 months. This court finds significant flight risk. Bail is denied. Defendant remanded to federal custody pending trial. Jennifer's face doesn't change, but I see her hands. See them grip the table? See her knuckles go white. They take her back to holding. 5 minutes later, they bring in Nathan Clark. He looks worse than Jennifer. Hasn't shaved. Suit wrinkled, eyes hollow. When Judge Morrison reads his charges, 62 counts, including medical fraud and abuse of professional position, Clark doesn't react, just stands there like he's already somewhere else, already serving his sentence. How do you plead? Guilty, Your Honor. The courtroom goes silent. Even the prosecutor looks surprised. Rebecca Santos stands. Your Honor, we were not informed the defendant intended to enter a plea today. Clark's attorney, a public defender named Alan Ross, looks exhausted. My client wishes to accept full responsibility for his actions and begin the process of making amends. Judge Morrison studies Clark for a long moment. Dr. Clark, you understand that by pleading guilty, you waive your right to trial, that you are admitting to all charges as stated. Yes, Your Honor. And you understand the potential sentencing guidelines for these charges could result in substantial prison time? Yes, Your Honor. Why are you doing this? Clark looks up, looks at the judge, and when he speaks, his voice is barely audible. Because I'm guilty. Because that little girl, Sophie Henderson, she wrote letters to heaven because of what I did. Because I used my medical license, my position of trust, to steal from people who believed I was helping them. I don't deserve a trial. I deserve whatever punishment this court sees fit. Judge Morrison nods slowly. I appreciate your honesty, Dr. Clark, even if it comes late. Sentencing will be scheduled for 90 days from today. Bail is denied. You are remanded to federal custody. They take Clark away. I watch him go and I feel nothing. Not satisfaction, not anger, just emptiness. Just the awareness that this man, who I trusted with my wife's life, who I shook hands with, who I thanked, this man destroyed my family for money. Jeremy leans over. Clark's cooperation will help the case against Jennifer. He's going to testify. Give them everything. How long will she get? Federal sentencing guidelines for fraud of this scale, 8 to 10 years, maybe more with the child welfare components. Clark, he's looking at 12 to 15. His cooperation might bring it down to 10. 10 years. Jennifer will be 46 when she gets out. Sophie will be 15. High school, driver's license, first boyfriend, first heartbreak. All the moments Jennifer will miss because she chose fraud over family. The trial is 4 months later, March 2025, spring in Jefferson County, which means rain and gray skies and the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. Jennifer pleads not guilty, maintains her innocence, claims she was coerced by Nathan Clark, that she was a victim of his manipulation, that she believed the treatments were real. The jury doesn't buy it. Rebecca Santos presents the evidence, the offshore accounts, the emails, the property purchases, the timeline showing Jennifer opened the account before her diagnosis, and then the moment that breaks Jennifer's defense, Sophie's letters. Rebecca doesn't read all 53, just 3. Letter number 1, Dear Heaven, please take care of Mommy. Letter number 23, please don't let Mommy hurt. I'll be good forever if you make her better. Letter number 47, maybe I can come visit soon so she's not lonely. The jury box is silent. One juror, an older woman, maybe a grandmother, is crying. Rebecca holds up the shoebox, the Nike showbox with the unicorn stickers. This is what the defendant's daughter created while her mother was committing fraud, a memorial, a shrine, to a disease that didn't exist. And when Dr. Martinez evaluated Sophie Henderson, she found a 5-year-old child with suicidal ideation, a child planning her own death because she believed her mother was dying. She turns to the jury. Jennifer Henderson didn't just steal money. She stole her daughter's childhood. She stole her innocence. She weaponized her love, and she did it deliberately, methodically, for 18 months. The defense tries. Marcus Webb argues that Jennifer was in over her head, that she made bad decisions, that she never intended to hurt Sophie. But the evidence is overwhelming. The jury deliberates for 3 hours, guilty on all counts. Sentencing is 2 weeks later. Judge Morrison doesn't waste time. Ms. Henderson, you have been found guilty of 56 counts of insurance fraud, 8 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of identity theft, 2 counts of bankruptcy fraud, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit fraud. The court has reviewed the evidence, the impact statements, and the recommendations. Your actions were not a mistake. They were not a momentary lapse in judgment. They were calculated, sustained, and cruel. Judge Morrison looks at Jennifer. You used your child's trauma as a tool. You manufactured her grief to create cover for your crimes. When given opportunities to stop, when your husband questioned inconsistencies, when insurance companies requested additional documentation, you escalated. You doubled down. You filed for bankruptcy and divorce to extract even more money. She pauses. This court sentences you to 8 years in federal prison, followed by 3 years supervised release. You are ordered to pay full restitution in the amount of $340,000 plus penalties and interest. You will have no contact with your daughter except as approved by family court and supervised by Child Protective Services. Jennifer stands. Your Honor, I'd like to say something. You'll have your chance to speak at your supervised visitation hearings. This court is adjourned. They take Jennifer away. She looks back at me one last time as the bailiff leads her out, and what I see on her face isn't remorse, isn't shame, it's rage. Pure, undiluted rage that she was caught, that her plan failed, that she lost. She never apologizes, not once. Nathan Clark's sentencing is the same day, different courtroom, Judge Harrison presiding. Clark stands when the judge enters. He's lost weight, looks older. His attorney reads a prepared statement about remorse and cooperation and accepting responsibility. Judge Harrison listens. Then, Dr. Clark, you betrayed your medical oath. You used your position of trust to commit fraud. You endangered public faith in the medical profession. The court sentences you to 12 years in federal prison, followed by 5 years supervised release. Your medical license is permanently revoked. You are ordered to pay full restitution jointly with Ms. Henderson. Clark nods, accepts it, doesn't appeal. As they lead him away, he looks at me, mouths 2 words, I'm sorry. I don't respond. Sorry doesn't give Sophie back her childhood. Sorry doesn't erase the letters. Sorry is just a word people say when they've run out of lies. Outside the courthouse, reporters are waiting, cameras, microphones, questions shouted from every direction. Mr. Henderson, how do you feel about the verdict? What's next for you and your daughter? Do you have a message for other fraud victims? Jeremy handles it, reads a prepared statement about justice being served, about gratitude for the FBI's work, about hoping Sophie can now heal in private. I stand behind him, silent, holding Sophie's latest drawing. It's from yesterday, therapy session with Dr. Martinez. Sophie drew her family, 2 people, just 2, her and me, both smiling, standing in front of a house that looks like ours. No third figure, no mother, no doctor, no ghosts of the past 18 months, just us. A reporter calls out, "Mr. Henderson, what do you want people to know about your daughter?" I step forward. Jeremy looks surprised but doesn't stop me. I want people to know that my daughter is strong. Stronger than anyone should have to be at 5 years old. She survived something that would break most adults. And she's healing. She's laughing again, she's playing again, she's learning that not everyone lies, that some people keep their promises. I hold up the drawing. This is what she drew yesterday. This is her family now. And it's enough. It's more than enough. Do you forgive your ex-wife? No, but I don't have to. Forgiveness is optional. Healing isn't, and we're healing. Jeremy leads me away from the cameras, toward the parking lot where David is waiting. We drive in silence for a while. Then David speaks. The community groups are already organizing. Support fund for Sophie's therapy, fundraiser for other fraud victims. They want to turn this into something positive. That's good. And Thomas? The insurance company called. They've recovered most of the offshore assets. After restitution and penalties, there should be about $50,000 left over. They're offering it to you for Sophie's future, college fund, whatever you want. I think about it. Blood money, stolen money. Money that came from lies and manipulation, and a 5-year-old's letters to heaven. Set up a trust for Sophie. She can access it when she's 18. Let her decide what to do with it. That's generous. It's practical. That money was stolen using her trauma. She should be the one who decides what it becomes. Here's the choice Thomas faced. Confront Nathan Clark directly and risk him destroying evidence, or stay silent, gather every proof, and let the law handle it. What would you do? Comment, confront, or gather? Because what he chose next changed everything. 6 months later. September 2025. Sophie's therapy sessions are down to once a week. Dr. Martinez says she's making remarkable progress. The nightmares have mostly stopped. The anxiety is manageable. She still asks about Jennifer sometimes. Where's mommy? But the questions are less frequent, less urgent. I'm in Dr. Martinez's waiting room while Sophie is in session. Same dollhouse she played with 6 months ago. Same toys. But the feeling is different, lighter. Like the weight that's been pressing on this building, on this process, on Sophie herself, like it's finally lifting. The door opens. Sophie comes out holding a drawing, not the family picture from the trial, a new one. This one has a dog. "Daddy, can we get a dog?" Dr. Martinez is smiling. We talked about new beginnings today, about what comes next. A dog? I look at Sophie. That's a big responsibility, baby. I know, but I'm big now. I'm almost 6. And Dr. Ellen says dogs help people feel safe. Dr. Martinez nods. Therapy animals can be very beneficial, especially for children processing trauma. It gives them something to care for, something to focus on besides the past. I kneel down to Sophie's level. If we get a dog, you have to help take care of it. Walking, feeding, cleaning up after it. I will, I promise. Okay, let's go to the shelter this weekend, see who needs a home. Sophie throws her arms around my neck, squeezes tight, and whispers in my ear, "Thank you, Daddy, for staying." For staying, such simple words, but they carry everything. Thank you for not leaving when Mom left. Thank you for being here when everything fell apart. Thank you for catching me. Always, baby, I'm not going anywhere. We leave Dr. Martinez's office, drive home through the September sunshine, and Sophie talks the entire way about what kind of dog she wants. Big or small, old or young, boy or girl. She's decided she wants to name it Hope because hope is a good name for new things. That night, after Sophie is asleep, dog book on her nightstand, drawing of our future family on her dresser, I go into her room. Not to wake her, just to check. Like I do every night. The shoebox is still there, still on the closet shelf, but Sophie asked me last week if we could do something with it. Something like what, baby? Maybe bury it, like when Elsa lets go in Frozen. Maybe I can let go too. So this weekend we're going to the beach. Sophie's choice. She wants to bury the letters in the sand near the water where the tide will eventually take them away. So they can go back to heaven, she explained, but I don't have to go with them anymore. Dr. Martinez approved, said it's a healthy ritual, a way of symbolically releasing the trauma. I'm terrified that Sophie isn't ready, that this will backfire, that she'll regret it. But Dr. Martinez reminded me, Thomas, she's telling you what she needs. Your job is to trust her, to be there, to catch her if she falls, but to let her take this step. So we're going to the beach, 18 months after the trial, March 2026. The beach is cold. Early spring on the coast means wind and gray skies, but Sophie insisted on today. It's been long enough, Daddy. I'm ready. We walk along the shore, waves crashing, seagulls circling. Sophie is carrying the shoebox. It's lighter than it used to be. Some of the stickers have fallen off over the years. The unicorns are faded, but it's still hers, still sacred. She finds a spot, not too close to the water. She wants it to stay for a little while, but close enough that eventually, someday, the tide will reach it. Here, she said, this is good. I dig with my hands. Sophie helps. We make a hole about a foot deep. She places the shoebox inside, looks at it for a long moment. Do you want to say anything? I ask. She thinks, then nods. Dear Heaven, thank you for keeping these safe, but I don't need them anymore. You can have them back. Tell Mommy. Tell her I hope she's okay, but I'm okay too, and I don't need to visit. Not anymore. She covers the box with sand, pats it down, stands. Can we go to the water now? Sure, baby. We walk down to the water line. Sophie takes off her shoes, sneakers, size 2, she's growing so fast, and wades in up to her ankles. The water is freezing, but she doesn't care. Just stands there, face turned toward the horizon, hair blowing in the wind. Daddy? Yeah? I'm happy. 3 words, I'm happy. Such simple words. But coming from Sophie, after everything, they mean the world. I'm glad, baby. Are you happy? Am I? After 18 months of investigation, fraud, trials, sentencing, therapy, grief. After watching my marriage dissolve, my trust shatter, my daughter nearly break. Yeah, I say, and I mean it. I'm happy. She grins, splashes in the water, runs back up the beach, leaving wet footprints in the sand. I watch her go, and I think about motifs, about phrases repeated, about one day at a time, and she's going to be okay. And I realize she is okay, for real, this time. Not because someone told her it would be okay, not because I manufactured hope, but because she did the work. She faced the trauma. She released the grief. She chose to bury the letters instead of being buried by them. Sophie turns back, waves at me. Daddy, come on, let's find shells. I jog to catch up with her, leave the buried shoebox behind, leave Jennifer in federal prison, leave Nathan Clark in his cell, leave all of it right here on this beach where the tide will eventually wash it away. We find shells, sand dollars, a piece of sea glass. Sophie fills her pockets, chattering about Hope the dog. We adopted her from the shelter, a golden retriever mix who sleeps at the foot of Sophie's bed, and her new friend at school, and her upcoming 6th birthday party. The sun breaks through the clouds, not dramatically, not like a movie, Just a shaft of light that catches Sophie's hair, makes it glow gold, and I take a picture. Not to document evidence, not to prove anything, just to remember, just to hold on to this moment when my daughter chose joy over grief, hope over fear, life over letters to heaven. We stay at the beach until the sun starts to set, walk back to the car. Sophie falls asleep on the drive home, head against the window, one hand clutching a sand dollar. I carry her inside, tuck her into bed without waking her, hope the dog curls up beside her, and I stand in the doorway, watching them both sleep, and I think about what comes next. Not revenge, not bitterness, not a life defined by what was taken. Just forward. One day, then another, building something new, something real, something honest. A family of 2, and a dog named Hope. And that's enough, more than enough. It's everything. Thomas and Sophie rebuilt their family, just the 2 of them, a found family of 2. If you've ever had to let go of who you thought family was and build something real with the people who stayed, share your story below. One line is enough. Some of us need to hear you're not the only one who survived by letting go.